International travel has been rebounding at an exceptionally fast rate, and demand is expected to rise even more this upcoming summer. To cope with this, United Airlines recently announced their largest transatlantic expansion ever, and there is a lot to cover. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk more about this rather historic announcement coming from United Airlines. In the first part of this video, we'll cover 10 brand new routes that United is planning to start in the spring and summer of 2022. First off, United will launch daily service between Denver and Munich, Germany from April 23rd. This service, much like their existing route to Frankfurt, will be operated by the airline's Boeing 787-9. This was a rather interesting addition for United, since their Star Alliance partner Lufthansa currently serves Denver from both Frankfurt and Munich. Needless to say, it's going to be interesting to see how the two partners will compete on these two routes. Next up is, in my opinion, the most interesting addition to this announcement. Starting May 5th, thrice weekly service between Washington Dulles and Amman, Jordan will launch on the Boeing 787-8. This is especially significant in that United has never served Amman or the country of Jordan overall in the past. But why did United choose Amman as a new destination? Well, the airline says that Jordan's stable economy and various tourist attractions make starting this new route between DC and Amman viable. Jordan's flag carrier, Royal Jordanian, currently flies nonstop from Amman to New York, Detroit, and Chicago. As you can see, they don't currently serve Washington, meaning that United will have no competition on this route. United will be the first and only American carrier in recent years to fly to Jordan. United will launch two routes the following day on May 6th. Daily service between two capital cities, Washington Dulles and Berlin, Germany, will begin on the 767-300ER, along with daily service between Chicago and Milan, Italy on the 787-8. United is the only U.S. carrier flying nonstop to Berlin, and the new route from Dulles will complement their existing link from Newark. As for Milan, United will directly compete with American Airlines on the route from Chicago, who also operate the 787-8 on their flight. 1 week later, on May 13th, United will launch service to another exciting brand new destination. Daily service between Newark and Ponta Delgada in the Azores will launch with the airline's newly delivered Boeing 737 MAX 8. For those unaware, the Azores are an autonomous region of Portugal located in the Atlantic Ocean, and Ponta Delgada is the region's main airport. The only nonstop route currently linking the Azores and America is Azores Airlines' nonstop service to Boston. 1 week later, on May 20th, United is launching thrice weekly service between Newark and Bergen, Norway with the 757-200. On June 3rd, thrice weekly service from Newark to Palma de Mallorca, Spain begins on the 767-300ER. Then a few days later, on June 9th, United will launch thrice weekly service between Newark and Tenerife, Canary Islands on the 757-200. It's worth noting that these new flights to Bergen, Palma de Mallorca, and Tenerife will be the only existing nonstop links to North America that these three cities have. Palma and Tenerife, as far as I know, have never held nonstop service to America in the past. As for Bergen, however, they previously had nonstop service to Newburgh Stewart Airport in New York on Norwegian Airlines' 737 MAX 8. Sadly, this route was cut back in 2018 when Norwegian ended service to Newburgh Airport. So those were United's newly announced routes for next year. However, there is still a significant list of routes that are due to launch that have actually been postponed thanks to the pandemic. So let's quickly run through them. On March 26, United will begin service to Tokyo's Haneda Airport from three cities, Los Angeles, Newark, and Washington Dulles. Newark and Dulles will both operate on the 777-200ER, while interestingly enough, Los Angeles to Haneda will operate on the 787-10. United currently serves Haneda from Chicago and San Francisco. The airline continues to hold a huge presence at Narita, Tokyo's other major airport. In fact, Newark and LAX are both currently served from Narita, so it's unclear if United will shift both routes completely to Haneda or operate to both cities from both airports, which is actually what the airline currently does with San Francisco. The next new routes launch on April 23rd, which include Chicago to Zurich, Switzerland on the 767-300ER and a second daily service from Newark to Frankfurt on the 787-10. Then 6 days later, on April 29th, new service from Newark to Nice, France will launch also on the 767-300ER. The final new route is one that has long been awaited. On May 26th, that will be San Francisco to Bangalore, India with the 787-9. This will be the longest route in United Airlines' network and one of the longest in the world at just over 8,700 miles long. Bangalore is a major tech hub in India and is growing rather rapidly, which has not only been noted by United, but also American Airlines. American planned to launch service from Seattle to Bangalore in October 2020, but that has, of course, been postponed multiple times. American literally just a few days ago once again delayed the launch of their Bangalore service to March of 2022, 2 months before United plans to launch their service. However, there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding whether or not American will ever launch the Bangalore flight, but that's a different story. Now, it goes without saying that London is one of the most important international destinations for any US carrier, and United has made that very clear with the recent announcement. In the summer of 2022, United will operate up to 22 daily flights between the US and London Heathrow. Among these flights is a brand new daily service on the 767-300ER from Boston, which will directly compete with Delta, American, and British Airways. Of the remaining 21 daily flights, 3 will be from Chicago on 767s, 2 from Denver on 7879s, 2 from Houston on the 7879 and 777-200ER, 1 from Los Angeles on the 7879, 7 from Newark on 767s, and 3 from Washington on the 757-200, 767-300, and 777-200ER. 22 daily flights to London. Absolutely mind-blowing. United recently made the bold claim that they are the true flag carrier of the United States, even though the US has technically never had a flag carrier since Pan Am went bankrupt in 1991. Well, considering the scope of this route announcement and the fact that United has always been on the forefront of various humanitarian missions, I would definitely not argue with the idea of United being America's true flag carrier. What do you think of that bold statement, and what do you think of these new routes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching and for constantly being patient with me. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care.